There we go. I think it's okay now. Good morning, everybody. Okay, sorry about that. It's probably pretty echoey in here. You see the walls are barren. I took everything down yesterday. The whole room, the whole studio is gone. There's no more pictures. There's no more. The only thing I have in here chip-wise is the chips I need for this morning's show, and that's it. So the whole thing is emptied out. Again, painting this weekend and carpet next week and whole revamp. It's going to be pretty cool. It'll look the same to you, but to me it'll be different. Anyway, good morning. Who's here this morning? I know Gary's here. Good morning, Gary. And California Craps Club is here. Is Ian here too? I saw good morning go to Ian. Ian, my friend. Hope things are going good over there. Skills is happy hump day. And let's see, Randy Hill, good morning. Let's get after here. I'm going to start out with a little Yolo, and we'll do a little bit of Horseman and just kind of have a short day, maybe a little rant in the middle. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But first things first, let's get reminded of why we're here, right? As much fun and frivolity and all that kind of crap that I like to have on the show. Remember, and this goes back to what Gargoyle was saying last night, these are shows, right? We're personalities. Some of us have been playing for 30 years. Some of us have been playing for a year and a half, right? So it doesn't mean the person playing for a year and a half has nothing of value to say. Let's remind ourselves of that. But wisdom is a thing. And wisdom tells me, and experience tells me, and my heart tells me to tell you this stuff before we start playing, right? Have a goal, right? Make sure that your goal and your bankroll and your strategy, the way you want to win, all match up. So important, right? So important. Understand how you view risk, right? You cannot play risky ways with tiny bankroll. You cannot play risky ways if you're actually kind of scared of it. You'll make mistakes, right? A lot of this boils down to not making any mistakes, right? Know when your opportunities there, keep your emotions in check, and be on time with your mind. Have that discipline, all right? Now, all that said, throw it all away. Out the window it goes. We're gonna go do a little bit of YOLO. What do I have here for money today? I got 575 bucks. Actually, a little less than that. I got 500 and change because 505, I think, because the $70 of that 75, I think, is over here. I may have more. I may not have updated the number here, but there's the money spread out. Here we go. And somebody asked yesterday about the YOLO, like, is it just kind of, avoiding the come out 7? And the answer to that's no. Here's how we do it. I'm going to get these bets set up. There's 150 on the 6 and 8. We'll do 75 to the 5 and 9. We'll do 50 on the 4 and 10. Everything pays a black chip. We'll do 3C and 1E. All right? And that's it. Now, puck don't matter. Look at the puck the hell out of the way. And the way that we work it really is this, right? And I say this a lot. I'll go to Stadium Craps, right? And we'll watch somebody play. And I'll do it right here. We'll take the dice. We'll just watch them, right? Somebody's throwing the dice. Like, oh, look, there's a 6. That's great. They're looking like they care. And here's another one. And go, oh, that's cool. It's a 7. They 7'd out. What a bummer. Next person comes up, right? That person rolls aces. Oh, this is going ugly, right? And there's an 11, and boy, they can't find a point. And we're kind of joking and drinking and having a good time. And there's a 5 for the point. Let's give them a little 1 count, see what they do. And there's an 8. Cool. I think this person probably has it. Now I exchange my ticket. I put my YOLO ticket in and go, now I'm going to bet on this person, right? And here comes their next roll, and it's a 10. That's how I do it. I don't actually just come out roll everybody. I let them roll a couple of times, and I'm talking, I'm watching how they do it. I'm like, oh yeah, I feel like this is going to be the one, right? And it's a complete, false whatever. It's a total fallacy. I just get it. It's a feeling I get when I'm going to do my one roll for that person, and that's exactly how I do it. Okay, so here we go. We lose 20 bucks on this shooter, right? On the horn. My money's over here. But because it was a 10, we're going to win 100. Now I'm going to pay myself 100 like this, a regular 100. I'm not going to do any VIG. Okay, I know that would be $2 in VIG. I'm not going to deal with the VIG. And the reason for that is I don't have any pennies. I took all the chips away, so I don't have anything to pay myself with. So I kind of owe the world $2 here. But if we look at this for tomorrow, right, or the next show we have, we can get 100 on the 5 and 100 on the 9, right? Those can both become black chips now. I do have black chips. I don't have any red chips. Those can both be $100 bets now. Now the whole inside is at 100, okay? And I've got $50 extra sitting there, right? Which can go anywhere, right? We can just do this, right? $550 in, $100 on the outside, no horn, right? We have lots of options now for the next show, but the next show is going to be a while. We'll talk about that here coming up. So what's our total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 500, 650 to play with, plus the $70 excess. So that's okay, man. That's a good YOLO right there, huh? We got ourselves out of the gate. Now we're like 13-0, and we rolling, as they say. We rolling. Let's go over here. We'll turn that light off, and I'm going to come at you. There we go. Good morning. Okay. Good. 13-0 on this run. We're over 650, whatever the hell I just said it was. And yeah, like I said, now we're cool. Every bet pays black, which is awesome. Even the horns will start paying blacks pretty soon. And that's great. They'll start paying 200. And then right away they go to 500. It's like this thing goes really quick. So if we can survive another 8 in a row, you'll be betting 6,000 across pretty soon. It happens really fast. The YOLO is one of those things where it's a slow starter, but boy, oh boy, does it go quick when it goes. And maybe we'll have some luck moving forward. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Let's see. What else? Georgia girl, I'm a 2-year newbie, still learning and loving it. And that's the whole thing, right? Gotta love the game. And I think it got said last night a little bit, and we'll move ahead here, on the show with Gargoyle and Jeff about trusting who you should trust, right? And I think, years of service does not mean that person's more trustworthy. Like, don't fall into that trap too. Just because I say I've been playing for 30 years, and I have, doesn't mean I'm the trusted person, right? I could still be an idiot. I could still be out here to screw you. Some people have been playing 30 years, and their whole modus operandi is to use that as a tool to get your money, right? So beware of that. It's not just about the years. It's not just about the experience. It's about why somebody's doing what they're doing, right? And I look at Gargoyle. I look at Bo Parker, dicecoach.com. I look at Ed. I look at Tony Leo. And the guys that are doing it, they're making money giving lessons, right? And that's certainly okay to do. I have zero problem with that. Everybody's allowed to make money. If you can make money teaching craps, it's no different than making money teaching welding or teaching something else, right? And again, it's not like I'm teaching you how to gamble, how to beat the casino, right? We're sharing wisdom, right? And that takes time, and time is worth money. That's how I equate those things. That's fine. If somebody's heart's in it for the right reasons, go for it. It's a big part of the discussion last night was like, who do you trust and who do you pay, and what makes you an expert over this other guy? Well, what makes somebody an expert, honestly, is what they've seen, right? It's like military, right? You know, who do the guys trust? They trust a guy as a general who's been there and fought and has worked his way up the ranks and done it, or they trust a guy that's never been in a battle, the guy that skipped all the levels, right? There's a trust that's part of that process, right? So anyway, I think that was good. Find a karma, the same thing, right? You find a karma guy who's got the dirtiest fucking hands, right? And whose car runs good. That's how you find a car mechanic, right? I mean, you know, my dad used to say, never trust a clean painter. That was one of my dad's pieces of advice. You know, my dad was great. I love my dad. I miss that guy so much. He, some of the best quotes ever. Never trust a clean painter. Because, you know, my dad was a guy, and I've taken some of this on. He was always like, he was not very handy. One of my dads is very handy. The dad from Jersey, very, very handy. My dad, Gus, built our house, right? He did all the work himself. He didn't build, but he gutted multiple restaurants right? He was that guy. Very hands-on. The guy would shake your hand, my dad would shake my hand, and literally it would hurt because he was so strong. This is Gus, right? He was so strong and so rough, callus-wise. He would almost cut you because his hand was so calloused up, right? My dad, Gene, who just passed, my mom's second husband, was the exact opposite. He was a salesman, and he owned a bookstore in Jersey, and he was a businessman. He was always of the mind, and he said, look, you can be like Gus. You can learn how to do the stuff. You can be handy and all that kind of stuff. But he said, I want you to be successful enough in life that you can make a phone call and have the guy who wants to do that and is being paid to do that and is an expert at that do it for you. Be able to afford the guy to do the work. That's what I want for you, John. That's what my dad used to tell me all the time, right? So so we would always, he wanted like one room painted. He'd bring in 5 painters to come give him a quote for one room, right? And if it was $47 versus $52, it didn't matter the $5, right? He was looking for the guy. And that's what you say, never trust a dirty painter. He'd actually eye him, as a salesman, he was a salesman, he used to analyze people. He would eye him up and he would just go with the guy that he felt was the guy. And that's how craps teaching is, right? Gambling teaching. Who is the guy for you, right? If Tony Leo speaks to you and you like that message, cool. If it's Coach Parker, cool. If it's Ed, cool. If it's me, even cooler, right? Pick your person. Doesn't matter who it is. Now, to go on what Gargoyle and Jeff were talking about last night, I love that conversation, by the way. It was cool because it was different than just, how to bet, which I'm getting a little tired of all the how to bet stuff, quite frankly. Even though I do it, I'm getting a little tired of it. But yeah, be true to yourself. And I think G was talking about this last night. And if you've played with me at a casino, you'll know that I do exactly what I do. Now, I don't play with this. This is a lie. I don't do $5,000. Here's the purple chips, right? I play with the purple chips here in the home casino because we're simulating a giant bankroll. We did build ourselves from a realistic $10,000 bankroll, right? And I played every day and I won every day, right? Build it to 100K. I'm like, hey, if I really did that and I had 100K, what would I do with the 5,000? It's what I'm doing. That's why the amounts here are not realistic amounts. I do not buy in for 5,000. I buy in for 500 or 700, right? And I'm playing smaller levels. I just don't have this kind of actual money in the bank. So from a realistic standpoint, when you play with me, that's what you'll see. I'm not buying in for 5K. I'm buying in for between 500 and 1,000, right? And I play the same ways though. I play the Horseman. I play my 110 regressions. I do the same things I do there as I do here. And I think that's a good thing, right? People who tell you you need $8,000 or $10,000 or $15,000 to log in to play this strategy, you know damn well they don't do that. You know good and damn well that's not the reality of it, right? So you gotta, again, trust the guy with the dirty hands. Trust the guy that came out of a house from painting to give you the quote, right? Trust the guy that's coming back from the casino off a coffee run to talk to you about what to do, right? That's the thing, right? So there's the nugget in all of that, right? Is seek wisdom and seek somebody you trust, right? Find the person you connect to. There's a lot of us out here doing the same thing, good and bad, right? And you're gonna have to find your way to level out who it is. All right, so there you go. Skill says practice what you preach. That's a great way of saying it. I think I said yesterday you pay for wisdom. You pay for wisdom, not the secret sauce, right? Pay for the wisdom. I'll pay $1,000 every month to go to see Bo Parker and just suck wisdom, right? Suck the knowledge out of that guy's head because that dude's been there everywhere. All right. All right. What else is on my mind today, rant-wise? Coffee Run, by the way, is being shut down for a couple of weeks. This is the last show. We're back again on June 12th. We're emptying the studio out. I'm traveling for 2 weeks to do my mom's move, as you all know. I'll do some sporadic shows within there, but there will be no studio until June 11th when I get back, actually. That's when we rebuild the room in June. So it's going to take me maybe even a couple days after that to rehang cameras and that kind of stuff. So going to be a hot minute. Now, I know Ed has said in the past many times, and now maybe he's serious now, right? He's going to get off of YouTube and go to Patreon. I know that other people have said the same thing. I'm getting a little bit sick of YouTube. I got to tell you that. YouTube put out another update to the ad engine. And I'm telling you, I should share you one of these days. I should show you the numbers, right? This channel's relatively popular, right? ProCraps has got 8,000 subscribers. It's pretty popular. We don't make a lot of money on this, and even like Casino Quest and like Jeremy with, hundreds of thousands of subscribers, they're making money, but it's not like life-changing money. Like, we're measuring me, Jeff, and everybody else. We're measuring our YouTube money in hundreds, not thousands. If we're lucky, it's hundreds, right? And they just changed it again. They're going to add more ads. And here's what YouTube's going to do. They're going to add ads at what they consider to be the peak part of the show. I just saw this update this morning. In other words, when you look at a YouTube, I should show you a video actually. You know what? Can I do this? Give me a minute here. I'm going to show you. I'm going to learn you something. You guys ought to see this. I don't mind sharing with you the behind the scenes truth. So give me a second to launch this, and I will show you something. Let me go to studio. Give me a second here to go to YouTube Studio, and then I'll hook you in. Let's not go to there. Let me go to my actual channel. So hold on. Change channel. We'll go to Casino Gaming TV. Okay. Here you go. You ready? Want to see how the sausage is made? Give me a second here. Let's go to this. Can you see my screen? You should be able to see my screen. Oh crap! It's the whole thing, isn't it? Let me do it like that. Is that okay? Can you see right there? Okay. All right. Here's my YouTube dashboard. Okay, and this, so you know I'm not bullshitting you. This is for Casino Gaming TV. Okay. In the last 28 days, we gained 18 subscribers. We had 2,500 subscribers. We made $91 last month. Okay, I do this every day for an hour and a half, every day, 5 days a week, right? For the most part, hour and a half, 5 days a week, not including prep time and what I spend. $90 I made this month. $90. When I tell you it ain't worth it to do YouTube, it ain't fucking worth it to do YouTube. Okay. Now, we could do more things to increase this. I could do a better job of some things to increase that, but that's about what you're going to see. Okay. Again, 2,000 subs, not a lot of money in this. So when I tell you we're not making money, we ain't fucking making any money. Okay. Here's what YouTube's going to do. Let's pick a video. I'm going to go to the content section. We're going to pick a random video. Let's go to yesterday's. We'll do not yesterday's show kind of sucked. Let's do let's buzz down and we'll do like Monday's show, the math show. Okay. Monday's show, we had how many? Let's see. Can I find on here? Can I go to the side? Yeah, I got to grab this. Monday's show, we had 191 people watch the show. We have no comments on the show, which is, or not, sorry, we had 227. We had one comment on the show, right? And our like percentage was 100%, which is awesome, right? Nobody didn't like the show. But the real thing is here, the analytics. Here's what YouTube's going to do. Here's how we watch this as publishers, right? I can see the chats over time, what part of the show generated you to respond. We had 40 chat messages during that show. We had 39 people watching it at one point, 26 people on average watching. Now, here's what YouTube's doing. YouTube is going, look at this. Look at this peak. There's a peak here, right? There's a little peak here. There's a big peak here. What they do is they analyze the graph of how the video is being watched. They're going to insert now up to 3 ads every 10 minutes on videos. And they're going to try and find the good times, right? So right here, I must have said something really cool, right? And everybody's watching, right? Right here, I must have been going really, this might have been when I hit the back-to-back midnights that day. Everybody's going, right? Oh, we're putting an ad in here. The minute when you're the most engaged is when the ads are going to come. In other words, when the video is going the best, when I'm saying the best stuff and you're the most into what I'm saying, they're going to put a fucking ad right there. That's what AI does, right? The Gemini AI engine is going to now put ads right in the middle of it, right? And again, here's the key moments. It has all the, when was the best, the most chats, and all the stuff is cool for us to know. Like I look into here and okay, what was I saying right there that made everybody so happy? Like why was that a high engagement time, right? YouTube is going to look at that and say, well, that's great. Fuck them. We're going to put an ad right there. That's what YouTube does. YouTube is like trying to make money, and because they're going to interrupt the show at the best possible time, right? They say we're going to make 4 or 5% more, which means for me, I'll make $96 instead of $91.29. That's YouTube. Okay, so when we say things like YouTube ain't worth it, I'm gonna hide this now. We say things like YouTube ain't worth it. We're done with YouTube. This is why we get pissed off about it as providers. We're working our asses off, and they're really gonna suck your eyeballs. They want eyeballs on the ads, not on me. I think it's bullshit, frankly, and that's why people like Ed are going, no, I'm not doing it. I have a good following. I'm a famous person. We have our podcast. I'm going to Patreon. I'd rather make $10 a month from 50 people that care about what I got to say versus making $91.29 from YouTube on the promise of getting out there in front of people. That's the YouTube conundrum, right? So a lot of us are just like, God, this is just not worth our damn time, right? Shut the channel down, go to Patreon. Shut the channel down, go to a platform like what Casino Quest did, Kajabi or Thinkific, and instead of just doing random videos every day, put a course together, right? This is the problem, so to speak, right? And this is why we all bitch about it so much. And and again, YouTube just made a change to put more ads in front of you per video and at the worst possible time for me. When you're most into it, here comes an ad for Viagra or whatever the hell they're showing ads for, right? The reason why they're doing it, by the way, they're trying to push you all into YouTube Premium, which I think is $17.99 a month now. I do YouTube Premium. I don't watch any ads on YouTube. I can't take the ads. I can't do it. I pay the $17 a month, but we get it for the whole family, right? So for me, it's kind of worth it. It's $2 a month per person, the way I look at it. I don't see ads, and they want to push you in that direction. They'd rather have your $17 a month than show stupid ads all the time. So that's what it's coming to. I am just here with this stuff. So that's not why I'm shutting the show down. I'm shutting the show down because I'm traveling. So I'll see you when I get back. So hopefully today we can leave with some money in our hands, right? Today we're going to make some money. Crash of the Cure update again. The dates are solid. September 12th to 14th, that weekend. Palace Station is the place. We all have discounts, 25%. CQ will be the host of the actual show. We are planning some other off-site things like the Craps Crawl and fun stuff to be said and shared later. We'll have our group meetings coming up here. We got to get another group meeting coming up now that Brownwater Bash is over with and all that kind of stuff. So more of that coming, all right? I'll give you updates when we get back. So in the meantime, let's do it. Let's go play a little bit. Humpday Hybrid, it's Wednesday. I'll get Crapsy going here in just a minute. We're going to do the Horseman today. It's a hybrid strategy, as you know. I asked G permission to play it because there's a don't component to it. It really is a don't strategy that wants to be right side. Like it really wants a nice long roll to happen. It's a right side strategy disguised as a hybrid. We'll do a 2-unit DP. We'll do 3 1-unit come bets. We're going to play it leverage style. So whatever we win is going to be the next bet size. And we're going to do it until we get our goal. Our goal today is going to be between $500 and $1,000. All right, and that's that. Nemo says, what if I do not need rooms and need to show up? Will it still cost me? I haven't figured that out yet. There's still going to be $100. It's still going to be whatever I think $100 is the ticket price from last year. Still be $100 for the ticket to come to the event. If you stay in the room, the discount is enough money for 3 nights that will cover your cost, right? So they're separate things. One is the way to get in. One is the place to stay. The place to stay does happen to have a discount. That is enough money to cover the thing. So yeah, there you go. All right, here we go. I think that's everything. Let's get into the Horseman. All right, Daily Paycheck. We are probably going to restart the show, actually. Jen had this idea a while back to take the show. I'm bending over, so sorry about that. To take the show from take the 100K that I won and turn it into $1 million. The problem with doing that, and I like that idea, is that the money gets really, really crazy when we start doing that kind of thing. But what I'm going to do is I think rebuild. I'm going to do it all over again. So we did a $100,000 win, right? Now we're here. We've got this $5,000 as a buy-in, right? You can see my rack here. We have $5,000 as our buy-in, which again, for most people is unrealistic. I actually have only at 4,500 here for some reason. I'm missing a purple chip. For most folks, that's an unreasonable amount of money, right? So to get to here, we had to start at $1,000 buy-in and earn our way up to get to these levels, right? But I think folks are kind of tuning out because they want to see real bet sizing, right? More honest bet sizing, not this kind of stuff here. So what I'm going to do is restart when we get back from our break, restart the show at 10, build another 100K. All right, and there's that. So let's get to it. I'm going to turn Crapsy on if my computer will play along. It logged me out again? Really? Let me get logged in. Let's start the show. There's that. Let's go over here. We'll start this. And the Horseman. So we're going to do simple, 200 on the don't, and $300 come bets, and that's going to be the whole thing. I don't have any purple chips. I packed all the purple chips up, so I got to pay myself in a bunch of blacks today, so it's going to be a little ugly in the rack. My apologies for that, but here we go. I'm going to press that button. We're going to come on out and hopefully have a nice quick run. If I get to a point today where, pardon me, where I do make the paycheck, I will, I'll log it as a paycheck, but I'm going to keep on playing. Just kind of FYI, we'll keep playing for about a half an hour today, roughly. All right. Let's get out. Let's get out. 6, 5, 2, 1. Here we go. Oh, you know what? These are, money's in my way completely. All right, here we go. The dealer racks were in my way. Okay, coming out. Oh, I gotta make it so you can see. Hold on. Let the camera move. Hey, there I am. Yeah, so Ken's got a great point there. We all say it's not for money, we mean it. I do mean it. I don't do it for the money, but when you feel like you're being used like we are as providers, that's what drives me crazy about it, right? It's not worth the time we spend on this thing. But if they're gonna do more and more and more to make it worse and worse and worse for our viewers, then it gets in the way, right? I don't care if YouTube makes money, they're a business, but don't get in the way of like when we're our peak goodness in the video, they're gonna slap an ad on that pisses me off, right? That takes the viewers away. It's horrible. All right, here we go. Georgia girl, it sucks when it's full of black chips. Yeah, I know. That's funny. Too bad, right? It's a problem we all wish we had. There's a great looking toss, and it's a midnight. It's a midnight. We're gonna start the ATS off early here with a 6-6. All righty. Let's get after it. Less chin, more spin is the word of the day, right? All right, there's that, and here we go. YouTube pays Yolo seed money, 100%. Some people, you know, I know that they use their YouTube money that is their gambling. That's their gambling seed money is the YouTube money. I don't do that. I put it all back in the studio. But again, with $100 a month, you know, it just pays for the internet bill, really. Oh, split of the dice. It's a 9, 5 and a 4. Okay, we have a point of 9. I'm gonna slide that puck over. I'll type it in for y'all. 5-4. That's the hard 9. 5-4 hard 9. And I'm not gonna change the screen until things change in my rack. There's a come bet. We have 200 on the don't. We have 100 to come. That's it. That's the Horseman. We're gonna do it like this, and we're gonna again. I'll use the front of the rack here for my leveraged changes if there are any. 6, 5, 2, 1. That end of the table, you can see the rail. I think that camera must have moved a little bit. You shouldn't be able to see the end of the table. Hold on. Can I just make a quick change? I want to see something. No, it's good. It's good. Okay. I guess I didn't remember having the rail in the shot before. All right, here we go. Looking for a point of 9. Shooter should avoid the 9 because he's on the 9, but everybody else can get one. There's a 4-3-7. That's a bummer. 4-3. PSO. 4-3. That sucks eggs right there. Sucks for everybody else, but again, for me as the shooter, playing this way, this is why I play the Horseman, right? If it's going to be a great roll, then fine. So here's what happens, right? 2 here and 1 there. And the leveraged side of this whole thing, let's go to the bet screen here. I'll let you guys get your bets and I'll show you what I'm going to do. I had to start that shooter 500 and I earned 3. Now I have 8. Okay. So what we're going to do is go 400 on the don't, or maybe 350. Let me change this in for some greens. We'll go 350 down here and we'll do come bets at 125. Let's get more greens. I can do this, right? We'll do 350 on the don't and 150 on the come bets. We're going to take the entire thing and leverage it up versus taking the 300 bucks and going home, right? Again, this is we're going for more than 500 today. So 300 bucks isn't going to get it done. This next round here, right, hopefully gets it done. So we're going to use the money for the next shooter. This is, again, wager me this, you know, shooter leverage style of play. All right, here we go. Let's come on out. Let's catch a new point. And here's the problem: is I always have this issue where when I do this, that's when I have a come out 7. Skill says I'm ever going to show how to transition into the dark side. I could do that. Let's maybe after we make our paycheck, we'll circle back and I'll show that, because I haven't done that in a while actually. I haven't done pure dark side Horseman in a long time. All right, 6. Let me get my dice set here. I have videos on it, but I haven't done it live in a while. All right, coming out. 2, 3, 5. Okay, we got a point of 5, 2, 3. You're gonna leave everything there. No need to see the rail until money changes hands. There's, again, 150 coming through. And again, as a shooter, I would like to have a long run. As a gambler, I'd like to have a 7 right now, right? If the run goes long, we're gonna be in great shape. Now, again, with 150 in the come, very easy to do 50 and 100 on top, right? We could do a $50 comeback with $100 in odds. I have options now, right? When I have bigger bets, I've got options. We're gonna go straight flat 150, but you could certainly become an odds player here and flip this and use this as, you know, 2x odds on the bet. We're gonna go flats because I'm trying to maximize the 7, but you have the freedom to play this how you like as a transitional play. Here we go. I feel like it's so echoey in here right now. It's crazy. 6-3. Did you guys hear the echo that I hear? That's a 6-3-9. It's a soft 9, which really I think should be called the Franks, right? Because it looks like 2 hot dogs. All right, so that comeback goes to the 9. The next one comes out. And here we go. Remember, we're into this for 500 bucks. Okay, that's going to be an interesting thing here in a minute. Hopefully, we get some play, but with those bets being a little bit bigger, it changes the target a little bit. So, all right, here we go. Split 6 and a 1. That's a 7, and we're done. 6, 1, 7. That was not my best work right there. Let me type that in, 6-1. That was not a good throw. I'm not throwing very much anymore. I've got a lot of other shit going on. So, okay, let's go to the other screen. Show you what's happening here on my side. Why is that? Oh, you know what? I didn't change the, look at the background. It shouldn't be like that. It should be like that. There we go. That looked really bad. I'm sorry. It looked so ugly. Okay, we lose the 9, but we win in the come, right? We lose 150 up there, but this comeback wins the same 150 on the 7, and then you get paid your 350 coming through. So the net on this particular shooter ends up being this 350 here, right? So now, if we take all of our money down from where we started, okay, again, it started with 500, we leveraged ourselves up and played again, and where are we at now? 1, 2, 3, 400, 500, 650. Right, we have 650 now. Okay, I am consistent on the short shittiest rolls for sure. But then I'll go off on one here pretty soon. All right, now we can re-leverage again. Right, we've got actually our 500 plus 600 in profit. Right, that's technically a paycheck. Right, we're more than 500 bucks. That's a good paycheck. Let's keep at it. though, right? We'll note the 650 here, right? But let's go and see what can we do now, right? Our don't can be 400, and our come bets can be 1, 2, 100 in size, and we can even keep 150 for posterity, right? We can really level things up that way and have $200 sized come bets. So now we're at 4 on the don't, and we're at 1, 2, 3 come bets of 200 each. I could also lock up the 500, right? There's 500 as lock, and say there's my starting bankroll. I've got you know, I can still go out here for 300 and have 3 come bets that are over $100. I can do that too, right? Let's be greedy about it. Let's go ahead and go full greed, and we'll do that. We'll do $200 come bets. We'll keep 150 for later, and we just basically doubled up our whole spread. Okay, doubled up the whole spread. Let's go. Let's survive the come out here on this big one, and if we can survive the come out, we're good. And again, if I started with 2 green chips, I'm now at black chip level, right? So when you watch the show, do the math, right? If I was here with 2 greens on the first shooter, 2 greens, come, right? Now we're at 4 greens and 2 unit come bets, right? With no impact to the rack, right? We're still on the initial $500. I'm still putting the initial $500 is what's at risk. All right, here we go. Where's my dice? Where's my dice? Let's go ahead and go here. And let's rock it, baby. Let's go 6 and a 5 and a 2 and a 1. And let's have a better roll. I want the come bets to pay. Let's get the come bets set and doing their thing, huh? Here we go. That is a 5. 4 and a 1. There's a 4-1. Let's type that in for you. 4-1 and a 4-1. Okay, we have a point. That's a market. Let's go come in for 200. And here we go. Press the button. Press the button. Quick shot of coffee here. All right. Ugh, ugly throw. It's a 9. Little short. 6-3, the Franks. 6-3-9, Franks and beans. Let's move the 2 units up to the 9. We'll put our next come bet out there. And again, these come bets could be $50 now with 3x odds, right? It could be $25 with max odds. You have $200 to play with in the come. You can make them flats where you're attacking the 7. You can make them small and use the other cap as odds. You have all the choices. When you have multiple units, you have all the choices. When you're only betting a quarter in here, you can't do much. When you're at multiple blacks, you can do anything you want. You can be a pure, right side 3-point molly guy with a little bit of a don't to back you up. You have all the choices. Okay, I'm going to choose to go flats because I suck right now. But your results may vary. Here we go. 6-5, 2-1. Let's get our second come bet set. Let's see if we can pull a miracle off and get 2 come bets in action, huh? That's going to be an 8, a 5, and a 3. It goes to a good place. Love it. 5, 3, 8. Alrighty. Let's slide that up. And now I got my last of 3 come bets. OT dub. Okay, here we go. Coming out. The Salvador Dolly. There you go. That's funny. Oh, what a horrible bounce. It's a 9, 6-3. That's awesome. 6-3. Not a good throw, but we'll take that result all day long. 6-3-9. That's good for me. Let's change screens. That's an off and on. So 9 comes down and gets paid. Come bet moves up. $400 to the rack. Now, if I look at my rack, that's 500. That's my starting bankroll with $50 in locked profit. Everything else out here represents potential long-term profit, right? I've got $800 out there, so we can hopefully, right, bring all that back and do really well here, right? Let's get both come bets to repay. Now, I'm not going to reset anything, right? I could put another come bet out here. I got money to do it. I could take the $50 extra and grab some numbers. I could take the money I just won and go through the don't come. For right now, we're just going to play it through. Nice and simple. Play it through. I really just want to avoid the 5. That's the big thing I want to see. I don't care what happens. I just don't want to see a 5. Here we go. How about an 8? Nice little 8 right here would be great. That's a 4. Ooh, okay. 314. I almost put the $50 in the 4 and 10, actually. I was thinking about it. 314. Skills with the bigger don't, why wait on the transition? And at a place, I can totally do that, right? With the big don't, I have all the options, right? My first priority always, get the rack right. $500. So I can't lose money today. I can only win $50, right? And again, I could have gone 50, 50, 50 and used the 100 stuff. There's a lot you can do. When you have multiple blacks in play, you can do it all, right? But again, I say this all the time. When you mess with the Horseman, you F around, you find out this strategy likes to be played the way it was designed. You start messing too much with it, it becomes, it ends up rolling over on itself a little bit. So screen transition. Thank you, Nemo. Here we go. All right, let's do it. Let's grab an 8 or a 9 here. An 8 or a 9. Oh, that was horrible. It's the 5, of course. Not a good throw. It's the 5 that rolled on me. Hold on, let me roll it back. 325. That sucks. That's sucky. 325. Bummer. We lose our don't. Huge bummer. But we still have the 8 and 9 out there. We still have our other bets, so we potentially can still do okay. Now we're coming out. Now we're coming out. Yep. You know what? It's okay. It's okay. Oh my God, what a horrible roll. Another 5, 3, 2. That was all the way up the table. Like I said, as a shooter, I'm happy with that. I don't care, right? I'd rather shoot good than shoot bad, I guess, right? We still have a chance to make money up here, right? Let's just knock out the 8 and the 9 and we'll be okay. I'd much rather be shooting long than having a bunch of PSOs. That's for damn sure. 8 or 9, come on, 8 or 9. How hard can that be? There's a 6. That was a nice looking shot. 4-2. I'm trying to get a little better at going deep into the rail than short. And sometimes these shots of mine, as you've no doubt noticed, I hit the rail directly, I'm trying to thread the needle down there if I can. Pardon me, here we go. It's 11, yo, 6-5. All right. Pardon me. There is a 3-2-5. Another, the 5s are hot on this shooter. That's the 4th one. 3-2. Our second point of 5 we've hit. I think it's our 4th 5, right? Yeah, we set it twice and hit it twice. All right. Let's keep at it. How about an 8 or a 9, dude? Not that hard. Not that hard. 8 or a 9. There is a midnight, another one. 6 and a 6. I'm not going to change the screen until money changes hands, so we're just going to keep on rolling as it is. Need a 10. 10 for the tall. 10 for the tall and a 2-3 for the small, looks like, right? Here we go. Yeah, you're talking pure hybrid there, Skill. Like, again, the Horseman does better when it's not played that way. It's okay, but it's not better played that way. I've tried it, and it's just, if you transition from a win only, right? If I get a win on something like an 8, then you transition out. You try and cross the streams, and it gets messy in there. It really gets messy. Again, my experience with this thing, this is the wisdom piece, right? I've just done it too many times, and I've gotten bit so many times trying to do too much with it. Just keep it simple. And sometimes you're going to miss a roll, like we're doing right here. It's got to be okay. You got to be okay with that if you're going to play disciplined this way. All right, let's get an 8 or a 9, dude. Come on. An 8 or a 9. How hard can it be? There's the small aces. How about that? Look at the last 3 rolls, by the way. 1, 1 aces. You know what's going to be coming soon here. There's the small. 11 and then 2, 3, 12. 11 and 2, 3, 12. Back to back to back to back to back to back. Now it's time to get paid. Now we get our 8. Now we got that out of the way. Everybody's happy. Everybody loves John. Of course you do. Let's grab us an 8, 9, 10. How about that? In that order. 8, 9, 10. We'll pay ourselves, get the tall, and go home. Oh my goodness gracious. What a horrible roll. That's a 7, 5, 2. We lose them. That's a bummer. We get nothing out of that, right? We actually end up $50. 5, 2, 7. It's come out 7, which sucks, right? But my come bets fall, and it's a bummer. I want to show you something, by the way, just so you can see it. We're going to end up with $50 in profit, which is, we got to start over, which is fine. If those come bets had paid, right, and if my don't pass that was here had gotten paid, let's pretend that I threw what I was going to throw. It felt like we were like a lot of money out there. Look at what would have came back to the rack, right? If all that had worked out, if I had thrown 8, 9, and then a 7, right? That's $2,000 sitting there, right? That leveraged play set us up for the potential $2,000 win. We got $50 out of the damn thing. So we got nothing out of it, but the potential was there to really do well on that one. I like the fact that we got set up. It sucks we didn't capitalize on it, but getting set up was really cool. I'm going to come back out now. Now my bets got wiped. I'm going to come back out and we're going to start again. By the way, if you're a betting person, hop the 8 and hop the 9. Because you know what's coming now, right? Hop the 8, hop the 9. Jen pulled her bets down. Too many horns, but I was on come out anyway. So you shouldn't have bets active. And there's a 7 on the come out. Ooh, getting right side killed here. 617. Pardon me. That don't falls. Back out with a new one. This shooter now has beat me 3 times on the don't. All right, here we go. Coming out. Coming out. All right, there's 11, yo. Woo, baby. Getting crushed. 6-5. I'm so bummed we lost our ATS shot. That would have been cool, right? All right, that'll go away. I'm going to fix my rack here. $500 there, $500 here. Let's get it done. All right, let's do it. Look at the red and pink on that screen right now. How things have just completely gone cattywampus, as they say. There's the 8. There's that 8. Awesome. All right, 5-3. How much you want to bet a 9's coming next? Here comes a 9. You watch. Wouldn't that be hysterical if it actually was a 9? Grab some coffee real quick. When in doubt, get out. There you go. Well, like I said earlier, I'm out at that 650 profit level. I'm out, right? There's no way I'm staying to play. at that level. We already made it. We already leveraged up. We won 650. There's no reason to be here, right? So we're just doing this for TV. All right, there is a 1, 2, 3. That's an ace deuce. That's a loser in the come. So far, we're down $500 on just this come out sequence here. Can we come back? Can we come back? Will Horseman fight back? We're going to find out. Oh, I didn't press that crapsy. Shoot. That'll give you a few seconds to lock the bets in. Yeah, there's a lot of pink on that screen right now. Look at that. 11, 12 through 3, 11, 3. Man. A lot of pink. There's the 7, 6, 1. That'll kill the shooter. That's a 6-1 and we're done. All right, so what ends up happening here, I think we're gonna be in a tie. 2 and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. But we had lost money on the come out. So we're actually not up the $200. We're actually down $300 is how this works out. So we can't really leverage up with that $200. That's got to be recovery money. So it is what it is. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's get you reset there. Let's get this reset here. And coming back out. Here we go. Oh, by the way, let me show you the rack. Just so you can see it. I've got in the rack, there's $4,500 in the rack plus $200 on the table. So $4,500 here, $200 there. We're down $300. Okay. So we're chasing a little bit here because of the that bad outcome that we just had. Let's see if we can, and we have 150 from before. So we're actually not quite that bad off. I should probably put this here actually. Keep the $50 there for safekeeping. So we're close. We're within a couple $100 of our starting point. We actually are doing okay. Not as good as we were, but you know, let's do it. Let's just survive the come out for this new shooter. Here we go. Here we go. That's going to be a 10. 6 and a 4. 6 and a 4. We'll mark it up. That's the one we needed earlier, right? We have rolled the all. We just didn't roll it before those damn 7s came out. All right, 6, 4, 10. 1 unit in the come. Let's rock it out. Six hard, 3-3. The double D-Gen, 3-3 hard 6. Let's move that on up. Let's drop our next come bet out. And here we go. We have, what is it, 8:12? We got about 10 minutes to go here. So let's hopefully have a quick resolution and get out. Well, you can't show it if you don't win the come bet skill, right? That's the thing. You can't transition to the dark side if the come bets don't win. And that's the thing. I'd love to show it. But if those come bets start winning, that's your chance to do it is that. There's an 8, 4-4 square pair. So we need to get those come bets to pay to show the transition. So there's an 8. That'll move up. Our last come bet's coming out. Let's get all 3 set. Let's get them all 3 set. All right, here we go. Press the button for the crapsy betters. Let's get one up there. 6 or an 8. Let's get a little off and on. Off and on, please. No, it's a 9. Ooh, we have 3 numbers up there. Look at us go. That's the hard 9. The 5-4 hard 9. I'm waiting for Crapsy to let me type it in. 5-4. All right. Sweet. Now we have 3 combat set. On the 6, 8, and 9, we have $200 against the 10. I feel like we're okay. I feel like we're all right. Matter of fact, I can take the $50 if I'd like to, and maybe I do like to, and put on the hard 10, right? Those greens aren't going to help me anyway. But if I go $50 in the hard 10, I eliminate one combination. And in fact, that wins 350 versus 200. So that becomes a profit play. I'm going to do that. I'm going to burn the $50. And let's do it. Let's get these things to come around and pay out, right? This is the Horseman. It's in a perfect spot, right? Let's get 3 combats to pay. Let's get all 3 to pay. Again, I want to get my rack back to square, man. I'd like to see us fight back. 4-1, that's a 5. We're not on the 5. Okay. And here we go. Here we go. 6, 8, 9. 6, 8, 9. There's a midnight. 6, 6. Nobody's on the ATS this time, looks like. Nobody bet it. We just need the 11 for the tall. Yeah, Crapsy is funny. It doesn't show you the bubbles unless somebody bets it. Mine shows it to you all the time, so. All right, here we go. Dice are up. 5 or 6, 8, 9. 6, 8, 9. There's a 4. We're getting everything but the 6, 8, or 9. Everything's going to hit once. 3, 1, 4. Come on, man. Here we go. 6, 8, 9. 6, 8, 9. There's a 5. Good gravy. I'm going to get every number except for the ones I need. I've rolled every single one time. 3, 2, 5. Wow. Literally every number has been rolled once. 6, 8, 9, 5, 4. 5 got rolled twice. Okay, that's one number that got hit 2 times. Come on, man. Six, 8, 9. There's a 5 again before 1. Too bad. The combat never went there. Maybe an easy 5. The easy 5. All right. Let's go, dude. 6, 8, 9. Come on. Oh, what a horrible roll. There's the yo. Is that the tall? I think that's the tall. 6, 5. That is the tall. Look at me go. You guys should have been betting on that. Right? That's the yo. Actually, except for the first 2 PSOs, this is not a bad shooting day for me. Not a bad shooting day. Come on, 6, 8, 9. Really, John? 7. You suck. You suck eggs, dude. Seriously. 4, 3. What a terrible day. My God. 4, 3. I think that's going to have to do it. Let's take these down. We'll lose those. Let's go back to the screen here. We'll lose those 3. The 3 comebacks go bye-bye. We do win on the don't. And so the net result of that, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll drop a black out of my rack. There's $500. There's a nickel for that. And we're at, in the rack, $4,700. So we're down $300, which, you know, again, after getting planked like we did earlier, that's not too bad. A little bit, we were down $1,000. We came back pretty good. Not enough to call it a profit on the long run. Again, the 650 in the middle there is where I would have stopped. So we made our profit and then we went back out and burned, right? It is what happens, right? Both times a 7 after a piece of the ATS. That's true, right? That is true. All right, let's turn this down. Let's come on back over. We'll close things out and say sayonara for a little while, huh? Let's go back over here. Get that camera to come back. As I sit, there we go. Not superstitious at all. Right. Well, it was funny. It was actually not a bad day. Like I was, you know, thinking about this as I'm playing. It was 2 good shooters actually. They were both over 10. Bunch of horns, right? And again, if you're on crapless, that's a great set of rolls right there, right? I think the garbage rolls are garbage if you're not playing crapless. You're not on the extremes, right? So it depends on what table you're playing to call them garbage rolls. On a regular table, it's garbage rolls. Most of those were come outs. Again, garbage rolls. So it didn't work out for me. Whatever. You know, I still love that strategy. I just look at that thing hang in there, right? We were up 650, which is cool. We went down $1,000 because I kept playing. Worked itself right back up to almost being tied. The Horseman is just one of those great, like, I'm going to play all day long kind of strategies. And once in a while, we bang one out. It's super cool. That's why I like it. That's why I like it. It's a good, safe, reliable way to play. Very rarely does it go all the way ugly. We'll go questions and answers, then I'll recap the strategy and we'll do it. You will miss me. I'll miss you too. But it's all good because put that comment up because mom's going to be in a better place, right? I'm bringing my mom. You're going to love my mom, by the way. So what's going to happen is we're going to bring her to Jersey. I think I told you yesterday. We're driving. I'm flying to Atlanta, then Florida, driving her to Jersey. She and I are going to fly back to Seattle. She's going to live with us for the summer. We're doing a cruise, the Craps cruise in July, and she'll probably be on the show guest shooting. My mom is a gambler at heart. My mom and dad have always been gamblers. She'll love this. So you might get to meet her. She's awesome. Yeah, she's great. Let's go. Let's check out any cues that I had missed, and we'll see what's in here. So, yes, there are ads on live shows. Now, I subscribe to the service. I don't see them. I'm told that during live shows, YouTube will just jack an ad in there sometimes. I don't know if it happens on my channel. On other channels, I know that it happens. So if you've experienced that, let me know. That's what I understand. Let's see. Skill says with the bigger don't, why wait on the transition from combats, right? I could. What you're describing there is more of a, and you said it later on too, about keeping the right side less than the dark side. That's hybrid play. Hybrid play is $200 on the don't, something less than $200 on the right side, right? If the Horseman's played that way, it will lose every time. The Horseman has to be the don't and the comes. It just, and you can't keep coming back. Combat wins, it stays in the rack. It doesn't go back out there. You cannot keep playing it perpetually. That's the reason why it hangs out the way that it does. If you start messing with it, it becomes a mess, literally. What you're describing is a great way to play a normal hybrid, but that's not what this is. This is a different way of thinking this strategy, and you have to let it do its thing. And it may be watching a bunch of rolls go by sometimes. It may be one shooter has the trifecta and you're out in 2 seconds. It just has to be that way. It's just whatever. For some reason, again, it's a discipline thing, but that thing just works when you stick to it the way it's meant to be. All right, check for PCs, and then we'll probably get out of here. So, oh, that's nice, Gary. So you say your first trip was Vegas in '82. You've been learning more than me than you playing for 40 years. Well, hopefully you get to see a lot, right? I mean, I'm teaching some stuff, right? But hopefully watching what happens in shows like this is a good teacher, besides what I'm saying. Just seeing it happen is, I think, as good of a teacher as anything else. Let's see. What else? Ken says, I think we are still providing good free service to the public. They have to endure the ads to get the free stuff. True. I just don't like where YouTube's putting the ads. I don't like that they're taking your eyeballs off of the most watchable part of the video is when the ad comes in. And a lot of people are just like, screw this, I'm going to leave. They missed the thing, right? So there's just, I think like on a sitcom, or the news, there's natural breaks. Hey, we'll pause for a minute, take a moment from our sponsors. Or on a sitcom, there's a natural, the scene ends, go to commercial. With us, they stop at mid sentence sometimes. It's just off-putting. I don't like it. Let's see. Jen says, do a short from Florida. I may do some shorts. I may do some check-ins along the way, for sure. I'd like to do that. Ideally, on our way out of Florida, we'll stop at Tampa and play at the Hard Rock. Ideally, I might play at North Carolina. As we're driving up the coast, we're going to take 95 north. We may stop a couple ways. My mom likes to gamble. We may just do a little casino hop along the way up there. And instead of taking 2 days, take 3. We'll see. For sure, I'm going to try and play some in AC when I get there too. So I'll let the folks on the East Coast know when I'm in town. All right. I think that's it. Let's get out of here. Let's say goodbye. Let's see anything else in here. I have 2 more things for you. Yeah, they make it a cliffhanger, right? That's pretty funny. I can adjust the mid-roll ads and place them myself, but boy, oh boy, who has that kind of time? Who has that kind of time? You can do that, but I think they want you to actually place a secondary ad too. All right, let's go here. Final thoughts. Again, I can recap Horseman. Horseman checks every box, right? With the exception of the initial don't. Reduces risk as soon as possible, yes. It locks up profit quickly, yes. We can use leverage like we did today to, in 2 shooters, triple our money, which we did. When you lose, you can lose the whole thing like any strategy, but typically you don't. You lose 1 or 2 units. When it wins, it doesn't win a lot. It doesn't check the last box unless you catch the run and move it in. Love this strategy. I'm gonna leave you with my quote of the week. I'll let this hang for a minute and then I'll end the show here. Let these words drive you as you go through the next couple of weeks. Think about it. I try to get the inspiring quotes out there at the end of the show each day so you have something to kind of muddle through in your brain rest of your day. So happy hump day. I'll see you back here live in a couple of weeks. In the meantime, God bless all of you. John's out.